Devil, how's it going, buddy? How you doing? I'm good, buddy. How you doing? Pretty good, pretty good. A little tired, but good beyond that, you know? You have a good weekend? You have any, you taking any summer classes? No, actually, we talked about this. You're going back home in a bit, right? Audio kind of loud? Oh yeah, it is. Okay, that should be much better. You're going back home in a bit, right? Smokey, yo, how's it going, buddy? How you doing? Penis. That's bad. Creek. That's really bad. Right on time for background audio for my workout. Hey, nice. I gotta hit the gym after. This is really bad. This is really cooked. What the fuck? It's still kind of low? What the fuck? Okay. We can increase the gain a little bit. That should probably be good. Audio is maxed. I barely hear you through the music. Shouldn't be quite that quiet. That should be a bit better though. Let me know if it's. I think it should be decent now because I'm hitting negative 18s or so. That should be quite decent. I also woke up from a nap not too long ago, so I'm also talking a little bit quiet for sure. But now that's good. And the audio is fine because I increased the gain, so I don't want my fucking... Hold on, I'm just gonna check. Give me a second. Seems decent. I think it should be fine. Okay. How's your weekend, guys? How you guys doing? Okay, so something. I don't know why I went with that. That's such a dumb word, and I opted to use it all the same. I'm not getting it today. Today's a bad day. Weekend was fine. Went grilling with the fam. Nice. Oh, come on! Oh my god, what the fuck? I've knocked out basically all the letters. What the fuck is that, bro? There's no... There's no shot! Oh, boys, I'm nothing, bro. Listen, the height of being good at a game is when someone calls you a cheater, okay? I'm clutch as fuck. What do you mean? Chris, how's it going, buddy? How you doing? New place or camera angle? No. Literally everything's the same. I just don't have my green screen up because I have my AC running in the back. That's literally it. I normally put the AC away, but I woke up not too long ago and my fucking room is hot as a motherfucker right now. Versus pissing me off. Where you at, Chris? What happened? Did you guys? I think forgot that you got a green screen. Oh yeah. See, how's it going, buddy? What's happening, Chris? Are you? I'm sure you guys are still probably in the process of finding a place, but like, what's happening? Having to deal with idiot realtors from the landlord. Okay. Like as like there are some of the like shit they're asking you for is like ridiculous, or like just time delays. Oh, okay. Obviously you want to go like alpha, omega, delta, some shit, but that can't be it. Elephant. Or how to write up a lease without motherfucker doesn't know how to do his job, or write up a. Oh, I see. Well, hey, good, like, mistakes, or like, are they trying to sneak shit in? Like, do they just keep fucking up, like, dates, or like, you know, useless, minute shit, or are they like trying to sneak shit in, like, hey, if you, you know, don't do X, Y, Z, then you forfeit your security deposit or whatever the fuck sort of thing. Good, Seer. I had a good weekend, man. We went on a trip. So I got back last night at like 11 p.m. Got to sleep for a bit. It was fun. I'm still sleepy, so still not great, but you know, we're fine. We're fine. You know, there's like a different kind of sleep you get in your own bed. You know what I mean? Like, Chris will definitely feel this, seeing he's been living in a fucking hotel for a bit. There's like just something inherently different about it just being your room. Like, the kind of rest you get is like a whole different thing. Invisible, Mohawk, Island, Punch, Coconut. Okay, Island, Coconut, Volley. It seems like they're trying to scam us out of our you see? Who's in touch with real estate scams? This guy. Wait, that sounds really bad. Hold on. No. Okay, not what I worked in a branch, okay? So I've dealt with a lot of clients who did a lot of renting and shit. I want to be clear, okay? That came out way wronger than I expected it to. Running? I don't know. Melon, Omega, Isthmus. What the fuck is even that? Dome, Peninsula, Island, Delta. Fuck. Oh my god, kill me! Oh my god, we're not getting this shit, bro. We're not getting this shit. What is this? I'm not. Landforms by water? What? What is a delta, bro? What? What is a isthmus? Slang for head? Dome? Melon? I've never heard of pate. I've also never referred to someone's face being referred to as a coconut. Things that can be spiked? Mohawk? Punch? Sea urchin? Volleyball? Spiked punch? What does that mean? The elephant man? The invisible man? The omega man? The running man? Bro, that connections was cringe as fuck. I'll say it. Did you know the worst thing? Sleeping at a friend's house when you were a teenager, sleep on the couch, your parent friend speaking from the kitchen, and it's negative 28 with no blanket. Oh yeah. Dude, I don't know how people forget to give you fucking like blankets when you come over to sleep. Dude, what a fucking bro, come on. That's like basic courtesy. What the fuck? Why are you such a dick, bro? Let's go! Kami, how's it going, buddy? Don't know how this dude got his license. Oh, that sucks, dude. But like, you found a place you're like, you're just dealing with the fucking small tedious shit now. I want to be clear. I'm not degrading the value or the importance of like the contract that you sign and shit, but like, you know what I mean. LOTM doll. Shared. 50 puck female sequence 4. Let's go. Hold on. Introduced earlier. Yeah, we're supposed to move on the 26th. Okay, so like 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Let's go. Laughing. 5th epoch demigod female. Introduced early in the series. 5th epoch female demigod. Miss Messenger? No, but she's not a sequence 4. She's an angel. I took a 3-hour nap. Not. How's it going, buddy? Fifth epoch female demigod. What the fuck? If I take a nap at this hour, I will wake up with that one sock sweaty as fuck. I don't know how you do it. Audrey? But... no, because then it would do end of series, right? End of okay, end of series, they're a demigod. End of series, they're a demigod. Could it be 4s? Earlier than 4s. Yo! Who gets introduced so early that's a demigod or becomes a demigod? Melissa? I don't know what her sequence is. I want to be clear. I got no fucking idea. I also realized it's after chapter 5, so that should have been obvious, but whatever. Okay. Female demigod introduced in like the first 100 chapters. Daily doesn't make it to demigod or to the end of the series, but you know, here we are. Bernadette, but she was higher than sequence 4, no? Because she's a sequence 2, so we know that can't be the case. Adriana, but she's an angel, no? And she's not even here, never mind. Oh wait, what sequence is what sequence? Oh, a demoness? Katarina? No. One of them, probably. Trissy? Trissy! Seer, let's go! Good call, buddy. Good call out. Good call out. Let's go. Let's go. That was a good hint. Okay. I've already sold my soul to an evil god. The only meaning to life is vengeance? Yo, what? I've already sold my soul. Trissy was in sequence 4 by head, yeah. Like every time I know my women with Demon S is included. Okay, bro. Here, mate. Oh, idiot. Oh no, daily puzzle. Come on, no, stop it. So, how's your weekend, guys? I'm sorry. I know the last couple of weekends I haven't been able to stream, but I should be good now. For weekend. What I am gonna try though is my streams on Thursday and Friday might be late. They might be like late. I don't know how late, but we will see. Okay. I really want my own space, of course. Yeah, no, that's only natural. But why is? Oh, this one because you can't take because of the pin. Cute. Of course, yeah. Hey, listen, Chris. If, like you said, it seems like we're just airing out the shit now. You've, what, 2 more weeks? It's just 2 more weeks. You're in the home stretch, man. You're in the home stretch. Who gives a shit? Don't. Just try to make it the last little bit, you know? Fuck, what? Also I got called in their server when I hate... Oh, I know, Kami. I was made... listen, I'd been away from the servers for a while. Well, I say a while, but like 3 or 4 days. I popped in for like a couple of minutes here or there. Oh, let me show you guys. These are my fucking... I deserve to genuinely just never grow as a community, because these are the people I choose around me, okay? Hold on. I genuinely deserve to never fucking grow as a creator. Holy shit. Mind you, at this point, I haven't been on Discord in like 2 days, okay? I haven't made any enemies or anything, okay? And I log on for like a quick second, cuz like we're chilling before I'm about to pass out. Sal sends me this. What the fuck is that, bro? What the fuck? My mod. This is, bro, what the fuck? Oh my god. I was like, oh my god, what the fuck? I didn't even say anything to this man. Just unprompted. He had no reason to say that. It was like, I want to. What the fuck is that? I had a good week. They introduced a roaming Minotaur to my local library, which adds a lot of... What the fuck do you mean a roaming Minotaur? Excuse me? Explain? What? Like, they just... I'm so what? A huge Minotaur just roaming the place? How'd they... It's just like an animatronic just hanging around? Yeah, that's what I'm so confused about, Kami. Is he... Like, I can't... Is he fucking with me? Fucking cringe. Like, he got me so fucked up. I looked up Minotaur to make sure it was what I was thinking of. I was like, yeah, okay, it is. Like, what the fuck does he mean? They just got a Minotaur walking around. Excuse me? Explain? What is it? Animatronic? Is it a Fortnite thing? Oh my god, bro. Oh my god. He's got to... Sierra, are you misusing a word, man? I know English is not your first language. Are you looking for a different word? I genuinely can't tell. Nah, I'm just making things up for... Oh my... Kill your... Oh my... Dude, all of that was just a bit, really? Oh my god. If I go here, I go here, what's the difference? No, I probably go... That was the right move? How was that the right move? What? I'm getting fruits because I can't cook right now? Yeah, you're good, you're good, you're good. I got you confused so good, I think I digested my potion. What potion are you digesting, bro? The clown potion? Do, 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 do. A mystical item made from an iron-blooded knight characteristic. The law of... Oh, that's where we left off. Oh, that's a good place. What the fuck? The law of convergence sure is handy. A fate appropriator's sensitivity to fate must have contributed a lot. Or it could be a result of some kind of arrangement. Adam! Aaron, let's go! Madam, magician seems to have sensed his thoughts and chuckled. I don't know if this is a bestowment from fate, but even if it is the kind we can certainly accept. Lumi nodded. Mr. Hangman spoke. Do not overcomplicate your thoughts. Consider only two things. First, you now have no ability to escape this arrangement. Sometimes, what you think of as resistance or rebellion might actually be a predetermined part of the process. And Mr. Fool's angels aren't always able to protect you. Remember, accepting reality is a sign of weakness. Finding opportunity in such realities is a true sign of courage. Second, maximize the benefits that this bestowment brings. Work hard to improve yourself. This doesn't mean giving up, but rather test your wisdom and determination. When you sense danger or anything unusual, remember, we will stand by you. Remember, Mr. Fool can only interfere with those plans, but as you know, he isn't fully awake and can't provide frequent protection. After listening intently, Lumion nodded, finding a different kind of resonance and persuasiveness in these ideas. The Hanged Man thought for a moment and added, "What you need to be most wary of is the attempt to resurrect at least a two-door through you. Be cautious in similar situations." "I will. Thank you, Mr. Hanged Man," Lumion replied. Magician then steered the conversation back. "You can take out the items you have gathered, and I'll help you evaluate their powers and negative effects." With this promise of support, Lumion reached into his traveler bag and grasped the hilt of the iron broadsword. Suddenly his inner worries, like clouds in the sky, were scattered by a terrifying wind, vanishing. Why fear bestowment from fate? Why fear the arrangement of gods? To hell with them! May they all go to hell! Lumion in that instant found himself filled with courage, as though he could swing the broadsword at the true creator himself if he appeared. "Oh, hold on, my goat! Hold on, my goat!" He drew the iron black broadsword, its flames extinguished, yet radiating intense heat, and handed it to Madam Magician. She took the sword and joked, "How about we call it the Sword of Courage?" "The Sword of Courage," Lumion paused. As the broadsword left his grasp, he shivered. What was I thinking? I nearly blasphemed. How could I believe I was capable? In a moment of fright, Lumion returned the broadsword in Magician's hand. Lumion's eyes returned to the black broadsword in Magician's hands. Could it be its negative effects? Could it really inspire the courage to commit deicide? Oh, the killing of a god. Deicide. I did not even know. Is that even a word? The killing of a god. Hold on, that's a word. Why does that word even exist? What? Stars sparkled in Magician's eyes as she gazed at the sword and explained. The sword fills its bearer with courage, ensuring they're not knocked down by fear or paralyzed. If you held the sword earlier, even if you were conquered, you could have endured a bit longer. It's extremely durable and sharp, capable of blocking direct blows from demigods and significantly impacting their defenses. It will also enable you to perform Cull at the level of a Sequence 4, but will consume a great deal of spirituality, roughly 2/3 of your current in one go. That's crazy. The sword can also absorb half of the damage for you. That is, even if you fail to block an attack and suffer a fatal wound, it can reduce the severity from fatal to grave. Each strike carries high temperature flames, and depending on your will, the flames can spread from your weapon to the enemy's body upon contact. Bro, this sword is goated. This is way better than Death Knell. Although, in fairness, I feel like at the time we were getting Death Knell, there was also talk of like getting a rapier or some shit. I was like, bro, get the sword! Get the fucking sword! If the sword is coated in your target's blood or they've been scorched by its flames, you can throw it up to 5 kilometers in the sky. It will wrap itself in flames and fly towards the target like a live artillery shell? Yo! And then crash down, creating a violent explosion that will destroy everything in a typical public square. Yo! The maximum range is Sequence 5. Sorry, I was reading your guys' messages, that's why. The maximum range is 5 kilometers, and it won't return to you on its own. You'll need to retrieve it. There are 2 drawbacks. First, excessive courage is a poison. Human fear and apprehension are among key reasons we survive. A person who knows only courage and no fear will lose their ability to analyze. Second, it needs companions. You'll need to prepare at least 30 ordinary broadswords to place around it and complete the sealing process. Otherwise, within about 15 minutes, it will start attacking everything nearby indiscriminately, including yourself. Don't think about using the residual aura of Alista to deter this, as the sword doesn't have any living characteristics. It is a manifestation of its destructive godhood. Wait, sorry, so the sword is the Sequence 4 characteristic, right, that we plan on using in the future? Death Knell is only Sequence 5, this is 4. True. But still, yo, you know, I don't know if this is what it looks like. The vibes it's giving me is... at least the way they're describing it, the vibe it's giving me is like this. I'm sorry if this pisses someone off, but like I don't mean to imply anything else about the story or anything. Okay, it's reminding me of like Asta's sword from Black Clover. Like that's the vibe that at least visually that I'm getting of the sword. And the fact that it's a damn near a fucking homing missile and fills you with courage is kind of peak too. Hold on. Did I have a question? I don't know. It also emits constant high temperature, causing ordinary broadswords around it to gradually melt, so you will need to replace its companions. Similarly, for you as a Reaper, it means enduring a progressively intensifying burn injury. Think about it. If you don't mind, we can call it the Sword of Courage. Can the negative effects of being filled with courage be avoided if it's in the traveler bag? Yes, Magician nodded. In the room where I found the sword, there was only one piece of armor, an altar and 2 other items. Why didn't it destroy those things? That suit of armor is its companion. Lumion did not inquire further and began to consider how to use the sword. I must fully assess the situation before drawing the sword. This isn't a commander's scepter, but a bugle for the charge. Its use must not exceed 15 minutes. Question or statement you had? I don't know what I was saying. Can you give me some? Do we know any? Fuck! Now you're gonna rehear. Hold on. I saw it more like a demon slaying sword. True. Oh, Seer. Sorry, Chris. I think I know. I was asking this. The sword is the sequence 4 characteristic, right? Like that. We're gonna in time have to break down, and so we're gonna have to get rid of the sword eventually, which makes sense because this shit seems OP as fuck. In the next second, he felt he didn't need to... While thinking, Lumion reached out and took the hold of the sword. In the next second, he felt he didn't need to overthink, fear this or fear that. All leads only to failure. Don't be overly cautious or indecisive. Just fucking do it. What's there to worry about? Magician reached into the void and from nowhere produced a dozen broadswords with slight variations in design and let them fly to Lumion. After placing the Sword of Courage amongst them and stuffing it back into his traveler bag, Lumion snapped back. He couldn't help but scoff. And ascetic's abilities do nothing for this, eh? He then took a piece of pristine fine leather and half-solid, pale yellowish red candle housed in a transparent glass vial. Harsh! Has he got all that just to end up using I know, he's gonna have... Oh my god, imagine though, Seer. You hit him with the... Again, I feel like what what Lumion... Dude, 700 chapters and my instinct is still to say Klein. Holy peak. How goated is my goat? What the fuck? The teleport and Harumph has been working fantastic, okay? Now we just need to add to that combo. Don't try to replace the combo. Add to it. So go TP, Harumph. Now as you get higher and higher in sequence, the Harumph is not going to be an instant knockout spell. It's going to be like, oh, it makes them lose consciousness for but a moment. But in that moment, you hit him with a cull with the sword. Oh my god. Insta-death every time. Hold on. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Exactly. Stars twinkled again in Magician's eyes as she took the 2 items and examined them. This is indeed the formula for a Demoness of Despair, but the human skin carrying it comes from an ancient Demoness of Despair and contains strong, mystically powerful viruses, bacteria, and fungi, causing those who touch or graze upon it to contract various illnesses. So there's STDs upon it. Oof, cringe. If contact and observation don't exceed 10 seconds, the recovery will occur on its own, Magician explained. Her gaze then shifted to the peculiar candle. This is a corpse candle, made from the corpse oil of an Ironblood Knight and a Demoness of Despair mixed together. Hold on, Seer, you're cooking though. But the thing is, the flute, we don't even need anymore, because the flute is a sequence 5, this is sequence 4, this is just better. What is its use, Lumion asked. Once lit and used in packs and cogitation, it will probably be paired with a ritual, but the specific details and effects are unclear. You have the aura of Alista Tudor, maybe you can try now without a ritual. Alright. With an angel and a saint watching over him, if anything went wrong, they'd save him, Lumion thought. Why not try it now? Lumion took the candle from the glass jar and sat cross-legged on the deck, snapped his fingers, producing a blazing white flames, and lit the black wick. He then closed his eyes and began to cogitate, in a tranquil state of desperation. A hint of dark fragrance entered his nostrils, causing his marrow to itch. Lumion didn't try to endure this, he simply concentrated on maintaining his cogitation. After some time, a dark mist appeared before his eyes. He seemed to be standing in the mist on the verge of a barely visible street. Across the street, various not too tall buildings appeared as if they were mere shadows. A vehicle resembling a steam train came from the other end of the street. It had a few segments. Thank you, Kami. It had a few segments, just two, with no distinctive chimney, but a strangely shaped bracket extending from the top, connecting to something in midair. Lumion's memory was instantly triggered. He had seen something similar in the Fourth Epoch Trier. It heralded the appearance of the second level of that special mirror world. The object resembling a steam train whizzed past Lumion, its presence nearly obscured by the thick dark mist, yet Lumion managed to discern some details. Both carriages were blue and seemed to be crammed together with passengers standing and facing the street, their expressions blurred and their forms lacking outlines. This is more what I witnessed in the Fourth Epoch Trier. It isn't powered by steam. As these thoughts flashed through his mind, Lumion noticed someone at the other end of the street, hunched over, pulling a black two-wheeled cart with a canopy. A lady sitting in a cart, holding a round fan and dressed in a long skirt, was hidden by the thick mist, which obscured the finer details. Lumion found himself staring at the black cart as it approached. At that moment, the lady within the cart lifted her fan to her face and turned to Lumion. As the mist thinned, Lumion could see the back of the lady's hand, holding the fan, swollen and shiny. The puller with a towel around his neck stopped, and the lady, who seemed to be stepping down from the cart, looked towards Lumion. A wave of fear washing over him. Instinct told him to repel any contact with the lady. He then heard a whisper. It was his own voice. Standing on the edge of the street, enveloped in a dark mist, Lumion felt a sharp tension, as if his true self wasn't present. Lumion's heart tightened. He found himself floating up, soaring to midair. He saw the core of the mist, a vast city with a bizarre, shadowy high tower, beneath which unspeakable horrors lay. Unwillingly, he flew towards it. Almost at the same time, he saw specks of starlight. Abruptly, Lumion exited his cogitative state. The tower and city wrapped in a dark mist. The segmented train and the lady vanished. He opened his eyes to see Magician and the Hanged Man. "You're a bit off. You're showing signs of losing control, so I had to wake you," Magician explained. Lumion thanked her, extinguishing the enticingly fragrant corpse candle, and detailed the scenes and characters he had witnessed. "It is similar to a pact-making ritual," Magician nodded. "This has established a connection between you and some unknown entity, progressively aligning with it. But unlike a true pact ritual that is directed towards deities, angels, or demons, your pact seems to be with a city." So my first instinct was to think that was Cordu, but that obviously doesn't make any sense. But then I'm thinking, I don't know if this makes any sense, but now I'm thinking maybe that was the lost city of Marora. I think that's the name, right? Like maybe that's it. And maybe it's like something about their... Cordu is in a city with the steam trains, Ankh? Yeah, that's why I said instantly that's where my mind went until I thought about it. Kami. God, motherfucker. They have steam the trains they use are steam trains, right? That's not like he didn't see the vision of the past or some shit. They use steam trains. Yeah, they have steam trains. Okay, so that's fine. I don't know why. I don't know if it even makes any sense, but I'm thinking it is Marora. I think. But then I don't know what the mist represents. It, like, instantly when I think of mist, I think of, like, yeah, they're still in the steam age because of steam machinery hit to work. Like when I hear mist, my instinct is like the gray fog of like Cipher Castle, but it said mist, not fog, and it didn't say like the grayish white fog, right? So it doesn't seem to be anything about that. So I don't know. Yeah, I would assume it's something to do with Marora. Because that seems to be the city that we're like, or I guess it could be the city of death too, like the underworld, if that makes any sense. Because I know we're planning that we have to go there anyway, because part of the body of the something is there, right? So it could be that too, maybe. I don't know. So many ads? Yo, what? Oh, the abscessed hand. Yes. Mist, by definition, is basically a less dense fog. Less dense? Cipher Castle doesn't get less dense, baby. We get more dense. Because I'm an idiot. I'm dense. Haha. Lumin thanked her. No, sorry. If I hadn't interrupted the process earlier, have we gotten to who's Moria? The process earlier, you might have accessed some higher knowledge or power through this pact, though it likely wouldn't have been something positive. Lumin, no novice in mysticism, understood the nature and implications of such rituals. He pondered and encountered. So you're saying that the city in fog, closely related to the fourth epoch tree and very special, has formed a connection with me through this corpse candle, despite the vast distance and layers of seal? Yes, it is not an illusion, Magician explained. Beside the corpse oil of the iron-blooded knight and demoness of despair, the candle likely contains some special materials, to which its origins I'm not aware of. There are two other locations where it could be more effective, allowing you to experience more, but they are far too dangerous, and you already showed signs of losing control. The other two locations, is one of them fourth epoch Trier? Yes. Where's the other? Bansi. Oh, Bansi Harbor! The harbor that was destroyed by the Church of Storm due to some corruption? That was the former home of Medici, Lumin nodded. See? So then it has to be, I think. Because Medici, Bansi, fourth epoch Trier, the Vermonda Sauron, Marora, the last sequence 1 characteristic. It would make sense in my mind for those three to be linked, right? Considering Medici's gains in fourth epoch tree and the path he took, Lumin had no doubt about the special nature of Bansi Harbor being akin to fourth epoch Trier. Of course, it must be a specific place in Bansi Harbor, not just anywhere, Magician said. There's another place, but I'm not sure about the sand candle's efficacy. Which place? Marora? Lumin asked. Correct. You are now seeing the connection between things. Hey, I'm seeing the connection! Thank you, Magician. If you do decide to venture to those places and use the candle to aid you, Make sure someone is with you at all times to monitor you and wake you up if something unusual occurs. Yes, ma'am. As Magician gestured for Lumion to pack away the candle, she thought, use the Sword of Courage as a sealed artifact for now. When it is time to use the Iron-Blooded Knight potion, I'll revert it to a characteristic. By the way, the sealed artifact, crafted by Hisoka's characteristics, should be done in just a day or so. Thank you, Madam Magician, Lumion expressed. Although obtaining the Iron-Blooded Knight main ingredient so easily felt unreal, when he thought about how the Alista Tudor's aura came to be, which played a key role in it, and the issue of the underworld Taoist, he realized it wasn't easy at all. But I love how Cuttlefish is trying to gaslight himself. He's like, damn, I gave it to him too easy. No, I did fine, okay, I did fine. I Alista Tudor almost came alive, and the underworld Taoist, is kind of a bitch, so like we're fine. That was plenty of difficulty. I'm like, alright, buddy, convince yourself all you want. Can I consume that piece of umbilical cord to gain some of the Great Mother's Child of God bloodline? Lumion asked. Magician's expression turned strange as she looked at Alger, seeking his opinion. The hangman looked at Lumion and said, this will indeed bring you some opportunities, but with them some risks. We can help you, but we can't be there every moment. Consider whether you're willing to take that risk. While the Great Mother's attention may be nebulous and not tangible enough to have a real effect, after all, you're already under the scrutiny of inevitability. Having one more such entity may not seem like a big deal. But the Great Mother's interference and permeation in our world far exceeds that of inevitability. If you do consume Amibella's umbilical cord, you may face unknown influences or attract special enemies. Of course, there's only potential risk, not a certainty. Madam Magician, Mr. Hanged Man, it seems you're already confirming that consuming Amibella's umbilical cord will bring some opportunities. There's no need to hesitate on matters with only downside. It is the presence of potential upsides that caused Magician to pause. Magician weighed her words carefully. The vortex project might involve a location tainted by the Great Mother's power, teeming with monsters spawned from this corruption. If you possess the bloodline of the Child of God, theoretically you needn't worry about being attacked. You may even be able to command them. That is one aspect. Another is that you may meet once you meet two other prerequisite conditions, you should be able to touch and briefly use a Grade 0 sealed artifact. Grade 0 sealed artifact. Not to be inquired, disseminated, described, or spied upon. Capable of destroying an entire country, or perhaps even the world. What is the number of the artifact? Lumion asked. Why would having the Great Mother's child allow me to use it? I cannot tell you. All I can say is that it's not the Child of God bloodline that allows you to touch it, but rather the integration of Amibella's umbilical cord remnants that allow you to access it without facing danger, because it originated from Amibella's remains. Then that's the one that the City of Silver has, right? The thing that allowed them to grow black-faced grass? Right? Something harvest? Amibella's remains. Amibella had remains before being born? No, that's normal. There are already remnants of umbilical cords before she was even born. Are you referring to the remnants of the goddess of harvest from the ancient times? Yes, the remains of Amibella, the goddess of harvest. What are the prerequisites, Lumion asked, besides merging with the remnants of Amibella's umbilical cord? I shouldn't have told you this. It spurred you to truly considering such a thing, Magician laughed. Getting your old instincts back? The name, I mean? No. It was introduced here. They gave us the name. It was when Colin was dying. He said to Derek, he was like, "Hey, the reason we've been able to survive is this great artifact, zero." I don't know if they had a number for it. They should have, I think, but I don't know. It was introduced in book 1, yeah. And he said, "Tell this to." The next guy, the gift of the land. That's what it is. Thank you. He's like, tell this to them so that they'll know that you didn't betray us. Ankh has a memory problem. Excuse me? I just pulled that out off rip, and you're gonna say I have a memory problem? You have a being a bitch problem, Aaron. You a big bitch. You bitch. Plague! How's it going, buddy? I'm sorry you had to walk into that. Aw, Zir, you shouldn't have. And I didn't get you anything. First, you must have been betrayed by a direct relative. Second, be a female. What? He felt he met the betrayal requirement, as his biological father had abandoned him and his mother. But why did he have to be a woman? You barely meet the betrayal criterion, magician guessed. As for being a female, in the world of mysticism, there are plenty of ways to temporarily become a woman. Was just logged off for the day, but I saw you streaming. Ah, thanks, buddy. Appreciate you popping by. Such as a special mystical item from the Demoness pathway, which doesn't necessarily require a high sequence. That's true. Lumin thought of the lie earring. Although it couldn't change his gender, it could alter his appearance. If such an item existed, then surely there must be an artifact to change one's gender too. Lumin's hope was rekindled. Why the fuck would we even want the gift of the land? It's just... Oh no, you can use it and grow then. Grade 0 artifact, bro? I expect you to be able to nuke a country and you're gonna tell me, oh, you can grow really good crops on it? Get the fuck out of here. Madam Magician, with a quirky expression, gave another reminder. If you truly consume the umbilical cord and possess the bloodline of the Great Mother, you will forever be unable to approach the Pride Armor. I forgot about that. Oh, he has such PTSD, he's not even gonna let his actual mom nearby. Oh, that's so good. What the fuck? Oh, he's like, bitch, I've been through these, I played these games before. But then... Oh, yeah, I get the betrayal criteria, because the... Can you update the chapter number, please? Oh, yeah, sorry. Because part of the thing was, if I'm remembering right, Colin said that the reason they had to kill their own relatives was also because of the thing, right? Somehow, I don't know, it has like for some reason it had a betrayal clause in it. I don't know why Amibella would, but it did. Yes, the remains of Amibella, the goddess of harvest. As a high-ranking astromancer, I can't say I didn't foresee this. Telling you everything and letting you decide is my choice. The prerequisites are that you must be betrayed by a direct relative and be a female. Your backstabbing of it would fade over time, but once you become a false Amibella, it will target you first and always, unless there's someone more special present worth targeting. Is this a manifestation of the Pride Armor's hatred towards the Earth pathway? In future battles, if I'm nearby, Franca and the others won't be able to use it. But between the Pride Armor and a Grade 0 artifact, anyone would know which to choose, even if it's only for temporary use. Magician didn't continue. The deal with the EBS Church can move forward. Let me know the agreed time and place for the transaction. The artifact cannot be transferred by you. It is far too dangerous. Have the purifiers prepare to seal it on site. She will appear herself. Alright, Lumin took the opportunity to relay some other information he had gathered. Anyone who died turns into an evil spirit unless killed by a relative? Yeah. Are you starting to see a theme? I'm sorry, see, are you like referring to the book as a whole, or are you referring to the Amibella bit? I'm sorry, you're gonna have to give me a little more on the question. Hearing that Berman was influenced by Harrison from the Resurrection Island, wanting to touch the mark of deep death and the evil spirit he had summoned and killed, Madam Magician turned her head towards the Hanged Man. Is that a painting in your background or just a poster? Actually, it's neither. Fun fact. So, basically, what's happening is my computer is trying to take anything green and portray the background on it, right? That's everywhere. And normally I have a green screen up, so that's why you guys like see the background behind me. But my back wall is like a deep, I don't know, it's like a sea green almost, kind of. So it has some so it has like some green tint in it. So my computer is reading that as green, and it is trying to put, that's why if you follow it through here, it's like it's coming through perfectly, if that makes any sense. Like it's following the pattern. That's what you're seeing. The more you know. One of the two, yes. I don't want to give you more. I don't understand. Explain. What? I was about to clown him. Okay, Sierra, let me get through this chapter and then I'll explain, because I need to fundamentally explain how a green screen works then. So hold on, okay? Lumin had previously heard from Madam Magician that the Tarot Club was already investigating the Resurrection Island, the one known as the Stormbringer amongst the major I was trying to rage bait, never mind. Oh, I'm sorry. Dara's not streaming? I thought she said she was streaming today. Dude, is she okay? I feel like I've seen her, like, crash out on the announcements, like, 2 or 3 times in the past week. Is she going through something really stressful? Because I feel like... Like, I mean, hey, if she's upset, like, okay, you know, people get upset, whatever, I'm not... Nah, she said Tuesday. I got confused because of time zones. Oh, okay, never mind. The one known as Stormbringer amongst the major arcana thought carefully and said, "This is something related to something I'm investigating. I cannot reveal the specifics, but you should know that Harrison is likely to appear in places linked to death, darkness, and decay. If you encounter someone of unknown origins in such scenarios, remember to tell me." Lumin wasn't surprised by this. He was more concerned about whether Resurrection Island's resurrection was indeed a true resurrection. Magician could read what he was thinking. I've said before, we aren't beyonders of the death pathway, so we do not fundamentally understand the situation. It is difficult to have a precise view of their so-called resurrection. Perhaps a direct encounter with Harrison or another islander will give you the insights you are looking for. All I can say for certain is think of Berman. His condition had clearly worsened since Harrison led him to kill what seemed to be his own evil spirit. The inhabitants of Resurrection Island likely have such an issue too. I was right last time when I said the ardent evil spirit may be alive after all. Upon returning to Trier, Lumin promptly made his way to 9 Rue Orosai. "Why are you here again?" Frank opened the door. He had left less than a half hour ago. Fortunately, it was daytime and she wasn't exactly doing anything. Lumin glanced at Jenna, who was curled up in the living room. "I've managed to obtain the formula of the Demoness of Despair, but if you'd like, I can simply leave." Huh? Hadn't he just acquired the Iron-Blooded Knight formula? How had he done something so significant? Oh, Ma! Long time no see! How you doing? I'm getting a fresh cut. Aaron, I'm trying to grow out my hair, man. I've spent so long growing out my hair. I would just want to see what it's like when it's fully grown. I feel like I like this look on me, so I feel like I'm gonna keep it for a bit. Once it's like long enough that I can actually put it in like a that I can tie it up, then I'm gonna obviously go get like the sides cleaned up and all that shit. But I've been growing it out for basically, I haven't cut my hair this entire year, 6 months. And like my hair grows really fast and I have really thick hair. I know, like obviously the bald jokes, whatever, yeah, I'm bald, I got no hair, whatever, all good. But like I normally used to have get my hair cut every 3 weeks, maybe 4 if I was pushing it, right? So like I couldn't go very long without, so for me to grow my hair out was like agonizing at the start because it felt so, You look like that one famous Bollywood I don't, bro. I don't know that. Like, I feel like this looks so good on me. What the fuck? Obviously, the fucking jungle back here. But once I can tie it up, it looks so good, I promise. Jenna was equally baffled. Despair is a sequence 4 formula that contained the method humans used to pry open the gates to godhood. How had he gotten it so easily? In a flash of thought, they both asked, "Did you go to the Blue Avenger?" Just a preliminary explanation, LEMMiNO said. You got the despair formula from a preliminary exploration? Hee hee. That is one of the Alista Tudor's legacies. A sequence 4 formula should be considered pretty normal amongst the treasures. What else did you get? LEMMiNO casually took a seat and recounted his adventures aboard the Blue Avenger. The corpse candle sounds rather sinister, Frank exclaimed. Jenna nodded. As a beyond of the demoness pathway, a friend of a hunter, hearing that the candle was made from the corpses of both an iron-blooded knight and a demoness of despair, made her think of herself, Franca, and Lumion. Just as Jenna felt Franca had voiced her own thoughts, she heard her companion propose. Last time in Fourth Epoch Trier, I barely saw what that city looked like. You didn't describe it clearly enough. Can I use the candle to make a pact and see the misty city? You guys be my guardians. That candle burns quickly. I only tried it once and used up a fifth of it, LEMMiNO thought. Let's wait for a chance to visit Bansi Harbor, enter the Fourth Epoch Trier, then try it. Besides, Madam Magician said that without Alista Tudor's aura, a specific ritual is needed to assist anyway, and no one knows what ritual that is. Maybe once we're in Bansi or the Fourth Epoch Trier, we won't need it anymore. That'll do, Franca relented. Let's see the potion now, Franca said. What's my reward? I'll keep an eye out the demoness sect for any items that can change genders and give it to you for free. I look forward to that, LEMMiNO said. Jenna imagined it for a moment and found herself also a bit excited. The thought of a female Lumion was exacerbating. Considering the potential consequence of debating over this, LEMMiNO pretended to be at a loss and quickly took out a sheet of delicate human skin and laid it on the coffee table. Or just shave off the top. Seer, I just go to the barber and just say like, hey, leave the sides, everything off the top. You think so? You think I go? You think I do that? The fucking Unk special. The three only glanced at the potion formula swiftly before looking away. Name, Despair. Sequence 4. Main ingredient, Plague Mother Serpent Venom Sac. Silver Hunter Crystal. Supplementary ingredients. Just fuck my shit up, true. 10 millimeters of Plague Mother Serpent Bile. Bile? Ew! You gotta eat shit, bro. Bro, how fucking vile? As a fucking... To become a demigod, you gotta literally eat shit. You're like, you know how much shit I've eaten to get over to a demigod? Bro, I have ate shit, literally. 3 fragments of a silver hunter, a fresh batch of mistletoe, and 10 milliliters of blood from 7 victims who died from different plagues. A ritual involved over 30,000 people in a severe plague. The more people that die, the stronger the despair and suffering, the better the effect. Am I like an actor of The Expanse? I don't know. Is The Expanse a TV show? What is The Expanse? Ludwig B. Listen, Alma, I'm gonna need. Listen, now that you've said this, I'm gonna need a photo of said actor in the Discord within the next 30 minutes, or you are getting permabanned. Okay? I need to know if you're making fun of me or if it was a genuinely nice thing. Okay? You got 30 minutes. You got until 8:36 Eastern time, or you're getting permabanned. I hate to do this. I will also have Romero permaban you in Dara's server too. Okay? I'll do it. I'm a petty person, okay? One of the worst rituals ever. I know, dude, you gotta kill, like, Not kill, but you gotta get 30,000 people severely sick. What the fuck is that? Isn't this too evil? I can't do this, Franca said. Check general. I think I found who she's talking about. Alma, we're gonna need a positive or negative on that. It's in the Discord. She felt that if she succumbed to the urge to advance to become a demigod and cause such a plague, she would truly fall and truly become a demoness. Jenna shook her head, her face full of fear. She couldn't imagine becoming such a person. She'd rather stay a Sequence 5 forever. Oh, my go. Good person, Franca. It's not about being evil. It's obviously more difficult than the Iron-Blooded Knight ritual, Lumin said. Using the capabilities of a demoness of affliction along with an auxiliary media and item, turning a contagion into a plague that swept a city of 30,000 isn't impossible. But in any city with such a population, official organizations existed, and they would notice the outbreak quickly, leading to a targeted intervention. If she avoided cities and spread the plague from one town to another, it would take a long time, and the longer the process dragged on, the chances that something would cause the ritual to fail grew. Compared to this, the southern continent may be more suitable to such a thing. Yes, Franca thought. Is there no way to bypass the ritual? Or a less evil ritual? It's simple. After you reach Sequence 5, you can switch to an Iron-Blooded Knight. If you care, or rather, prefer to remain a demoness, you can check whether the ritual of the demoness of unaging is evil, and if it isn't, you can always switch back. Franca and Jenna were both stunned. After an initial shock, Franca thought carefully. Maybe the idea isn't so bad. So, yeah, 30,000 people. Well, shit. Mom. Time's ticking. 10% of your time has already run out. I am gonna need an answer, okay? Listen, I like you, but I am gonna need an answer. You will get permabanned in both Discords, okay? I'll do it. I'll fucking do it. Well, much more specifically, I'll have Romero do it, but you know. Seeing Franca silent, Lumin said with a menacing smile, "There's no need to take things so seriously. We've all used lie and changed our appearances before. Well, I once turned into a dog. As long as it's not permanent, you can change it back. Remember, you're just acting." Lumin knew Jenna was already aware that the demoness pathway led to a change from male to female, whereas the hunter did the opposite. He also knew Franca suspected Jenna was aware of this. But since Demoness of Pleasure wanted to continue deceiving herself, he didn't mind helping a bit. Temporarily, if the ritual of the Demoness of Unaging isn't evil, I can switch back. Unaging doesn't sound too evil, Jenna muttered. I think the suggestion is worth considering. Franca nodded in agreement. I'm only a Sequence 7, just a witch. Why am I even considering becoming a demigod? Damn it, it feels like when I became a showy diva, though I was always saving money, it didn't stop me from dreaming of becoming a famous actor, earning thousands of world a year and wondering how I'd spend it all. Me too, Franca echoed. If we switch, how do we complete the ritual for the 30-person Iron-Blooded team? You'd better pray that by then I've become an Iron-Blooded Knight. Having an Iron-Blooded Knight as a team member can reduce the number of people required significantly, and I think we already work quite decently together. Is that so? A ritual is just a ritual. After it is done, there is really no need to maintain the previous state, meaning the captain and the team member could swap places and form a new team anew. What do you call that? It's called recycling. Okay, hold on. Purely theoretically, because obviously no one could ever do this. But purely theoretically, if you infected Adam with a plague, would he count as 30,000 people, you figure, for the ritual? Do you think so? Do you think if you got like one Adam sick, it would be like, alright, that's it, you can advance? Probably more. Dude, you think he's worth more than 30,000 people? Actually, definitely more? What? Bro's a continent worth. Of course he's more. Bro, 30,000 is a crazy amount of people. What? Also, once I become an Iron-Blooded Knight, Jenna will have 2 demigod teammates, plus Anthony and Lugano. She shouldn't really need anyone else. If Ludwig is still with us by then, not having broken his seal, things will be even simpler. We could be his godmothers. It'd be easier if you ask Adam to imagine 30k people than affecting him. True, you're like, Adam, I need you to just envision 30k people in this desolate town, okay? I'm about to fucking kill them all. And he goes, are you gonna help me once you become a demigod? And you go, absolutely. He goes, alright. It would be literally a quid pro quo. The more they discussed, the more awkward it got, so it was best to leave it there. The former, Franca said to Lumion, there's a mysticism gathering in a few days. Touch base with the professor and the others to probe whether any members of the Moses Ascetic Order are among them. If it's not too urgent, since Madame Judgment told me that the Tarot Club has informants inside the Moses Ascetic Order who can provide the necessary information, but I'm not sure if that informant belongs to the Trier region and knows the local circumstance. While the mirror person Griffith is definitely in Trier. I will also need to ask about the Harvest Priest formula and corresponding material. Boosting the team strength will help. Can you help sell that Dream Stealer characteristic for me? The level of the mysticism gathering I attend aren't high enough. Nobody can afford an item of that sequence. Jenna said. Wait, but that's so weird, right? Like, a human is just a human. They would just count as one person. A sequence 9 would probably also just count as one person. Sequence 8 would also probably just count as one person. But a sequence 7 might count as like 10 people. Is that like a fair thing to say? Am I confirmed, Lamau? Okay, well, hey, that's a relatively, more like 5, you think so? Right. Well, hey, that's a handsome fella. He's definitely old, and I don't like that she's exactly calling me fucking old, but, you know. Oh my god, he's a short king. No, never mind, he's average height, never mind. No, that's a handsome fella, I'm not losing. If anyone is curious, Alma thinks I look like this guy. Oh, you bet he ain't gonna ask you to help him. He'd rather write you up into a pot of... who now? If anyone's curious, this is... Alma said I look like this guy. That's a handsome fella. I'm not complaining about it. I'll take it. Alright, bye, Alma! I'm so sorry to make you go through all that work for a comment. I don't know. Who the fuck is Ari Aster? Look up what movies he's made? Bro, I legitimately don't know if I know a single one of this motherfucker's movies. I don't think I know any of this fuck's movies. What the fuck is this? Who the fuck is this guy? I legit don't know any of these movies. What is Midsommar? Hereditary, Eddington, Beau is Afraid. I've heard of Beau is Afraid, at least, mainly because of Joaquin Phoenix, but the strain, I don't know what that is. Begonia, I don't know what that is. Beau, didn't he? Beau is Afraid? What the fuck is he on? Drama, I don't know fucking any of these. I don't know, might be a French thing. I don't know what to tell you. She was thinking about the demoness pleasure potion materials she was about to receive from the EBS church. Franca's pleasure was almost digested, and it wasn't too good to still owe her companion money. After all, she couldn't use the Dream Stealer characteristic herself anyway. Lumen could probably guess Jenna's thoughts, subtly gesturing towards his traveler bag. His implication was clear. You've seen my iron-blooded knight and demoness of despair. How come you haven't thought about owing me some money? Lumen hoped this approach would make Jenna worry less about owing money, suggesting she borrow more and hire an artisan to turn the artifact into turning the characteristic into a mystical item. The stronger you are, the easier to repay debts. Sitting on the sofa, Jenna scoffed at Franca. I'll pay you two back, idiots. I'll keep an eye out, Franca said. We can start gathering some supplementary ingredients for Iron-Blooded Knight and Demoness of Despair. Like now. Wait. Franca is sequence 5? You would like it, I think? I don't know. I'll read the synopsis later. I'm too much of a chud. It's alright. She's a sequence 6? Franca, get your shit up, bro. Who knows, by then we may find a way to bypass the ritual. Let's just get ready. Hearing about the preparations for the potion, Lumi nodded and remembered something. He stood up and walked over to the full-length mirror, pressing his hand, and then activated the contract abilities from Bloody Jack, sensing the mirror imprints. Soon, Lumin used the mirror and its other connection to detect 2 imprints from afar. A clear one that belonged to the full-length mirror in Morin Avigny's study, and a blurry one changed on its own, shifting positions. I can sense it. That must be the imprint on the Blue Avenger. Using the link between the imprint and myself, no matter how much it blurs or shifts, I can teleport to it, as long as I can step through the mirror, Lumin thought. This was because his spiritual intuition and a warning from fate told him that if he teleported to that imprint now, he may never return. Or may return to at least a 2-door. 53 or... Okay, we might do 53 then. No, we're definitely doing 53. Never mind. Withdrawing his hand, Lumin shared the results. Afterwards, Frank and Jenna left to visit a hospital morgues to look for opportunities to act as a witch and to see if there were any bodies that died of contagious diseases. With the order of extinction and the sick church not yet eradicated, there were definitely deaths from plagues, just not so many. Standing by the window, Lumin saw Jenna appear on the street and said to Franca, "You might have to become a demoness of despair, so it would be good to think about how to find an alternative." "Why?" Franca said. "Have you noticed that all the high-ranking members of the Demoness sect are demonesses? Do you think it's because they can't get their hands on the Iron-Blooded Knight formula and characteristic? But they don't prohibit us from switching." "True. I suspect that those angelic tier demonesses can't fire in higher sequence hunter pathway characteristics to change back into men, so they're not keen on seeing their subordinates regain themselves either. It has become an unspoken rule. If I am in misery, how can you be happy?" According to the intel Lumin and Franca received from Madam Magician, starting from sequence 4, hunters and demonesses could switch pathways, with genders determined by the highest sequence. Franca was silent for a long time before saying, "If I digest the affliction potion and still haven't found an alternative, I'll request to end my mission with the Demoness sect. She should understand and won't allow me to carry out something like spreading a horrific plague. Besides, wouldn't it be odd if Jenna becomes an Iron-Blooded Knight and I remain a Demoness by then? Life's short. Why not give it a try?" Before Jenna could even react, Lumin leapt up from the sofa and headed for the door. "If you have what it takes, try it yourself," Franca cursed. With a grin, Lumin walked out. "What ingredients or spices are needed for the third method of cooking the umbilical cord remains?" Lumin asked Ludwig. "What umbilical remains?" "The remains of the child of God that Father Montserrat was carrying. Father Monty was carrying." Lugano stuttered. Can you actually eat that? Brother, I'm about to eat it, okay? So, Source of Life. Oh my god, he's eating it! The Source of Life is Amibella, right? Oh no, I want conjuring the ground. Cringe. Bro, you're a grade 0 artifact and you can make shit grow? That's the extent of your abilities? Cringe, lord. Do better. Be better. What happens if you eat it? What are the changes? Do you become a child of God? What can't be eaten? Lumin glanced at Lugano's arm. No, never mind. Lugano felt a sharp phantom pain. He wanted to get away from Ludwig and Lugano, but couldn't think of an excuse. After Ludwig swallowed a mouthful of cheese bread, he said, "Top-tier ingredients don't need much accompaniment or seasoning. We just need to give it a symbol. That includes 9 main staple ingredients: wheat, oats, rye, rice, potatoes, sweet potatoes, corn, cassava, and any other kind of beans. Cook them with the umbilical remains in cow's or sheep's milk for half an hour. Then it's good to eat. This is called the source of life." I mean, it makes stuff grow in the remnants of the ancient sun god's power. The remnants. I'm sorry. Cooking in milk sounds horrible. It does. I will say though, I feel like one of the craziest things we don't think about enough is like just the land forsaken by the gods. That's genuinely just crazy. That thousands of years ago, shit happened there, and now that entire fucking... I'm sorry, where do you want me to get a fucking Ami Bella's remains, Kami? Everything else, no problem, I can get. Where do you want me to get Ami Bella's remains? Do they sell that at my local Walmart? And as for... Jesus, Kami, what the... That's dark as fuck, dude. Jesus. Of course, a gourmet pathway chef concocted alcoholic beverages and cooked various dishes, was essentially conducting a mystical rite. Actually, it doesn't have to be in these 9 ingredients, right? As long as the main concept of the ingredients remains and the quantity satisfied, so other kinds of milk would work, right? No, this is best. So what you're saying is the method I mentioned would work, but it won't taste as good. No wonder it's the gourmet pathway. Lumin's traveler bag only contained dry rations. For Trier, a leading global metropolis, the ingredients Ludwig needed were easily collected, and by noon, they had returned to see Ludwig, placing the main ingredients alongside the umbilical remains into a stew pot. These steps needed to be completed by the chef themselves to endow them with mysticism, to coax the designated uniqueness out of the ingredients and maintain them to a degree. After simmering for a while, Lumin smelled the starchy aroma mixed with the milk and dense, milky white steam rising. The steam did not disperse, but condensed in midair and went back into the pot. Do you add sugar or salt? Ludwig turned to Lumin. What difference do they bring? One is sweet, the other salty. Which do you prefer? Which do you prefer? Lumin asked Ludwig. I can't eat it. Sweet is tasty, salty is decent too. If it can be split into 2 parts, one sweet, one salty. As he spoke, the boy, seemingly agitated, sprinkled some salt and some sugar. Lumin watched him amusingly. For him, the taste was not important, the effect was. Finally, Ludwig instructed Lugano to extinguish the flames and remove the contents of the pot. A palm-sized piece of starchy congealment. The surface of the food was covered with red spots. It is ready to eat, Ludwig said. Will it be effective with just one bite, or do I need to eat it all? All of it, Ludwig said. Lumin picked up the steaming, slightly scalding food and brought it to his mouth. The sweet, salty flavors melded together, offsetting each other in a unique way. Will it work right away? Lumin asked. You need to sleep first. Ludwig pointed to the bedroom. Sleep. Lumin left the dining table and returned to his room and lay down. He closed his eyes, and in the darkness he heard soft sobs. He turned his head and discerned the sound of a little girl whispering, "Mommy! Mommy!" The voice grew louder, more mature. "Mommy!" The cries drew nearer, as if right beside Lumin. Inside my body, Lumin woke up, jolted, regaining his senses. The darkness shattered, and the sunlight pierced his eyes. He sat up, freeing himself from the dream, and the cries still echoed in his mind. Did I hear the child of God? Lumin undressed himself and found nothing unusual, but he knew something was different about him, something indescribable. He dressed again and left the room to find Lugano sneaking glances. Are you all right? It's okay, Lumin chuckled. I won't become the child of God. Nor have I conceived her. Seeing Lugano eye his stomach, Lumin added. After speaking, he left the still concerned Lugano behind and walked out of the apartment. The sun was perfect, with nothing much to do. Lumen decided to stake out a spot in the Trier catacombs. Knowing that Harrison was from the Resurrection Island may appear at places related to death and darkness, Lumen's first thoughts were of the Dream Festival and the Trier catacombs. In the first level of the catacombs, by the entrance to the old ossuary, leading deeper below, Lumen sat next to the withered skeleton. Soon a group of students passed by, spotting Lumen. The leader asked, "Why are you sitting here?" "I've been down to the lower level many times and have lost interest. I just want to sit here and watch everyone that comes and goes, to see who never leaves." "Sounds interesting," the students said. They too decided to sit down and observe if anyone returning showed any signs of fear. The tall man chose to sit beside Lumion. "Do you really think not lighting a candle here could lead to mishap? You could try it, and we can all see." "I didn't believe in such things before, but then," Lumion spoke. "What happened?" two of them blurted out. "Then, I met someone who had encountered the Monsuary ghost. You know the legend of the ghost, right?" They all nodded. "His family all died. He thought he could escape it, but one day, when I went to see him, I found him hanged from a window frame. Since then, I've strictly followed the rules of underground Trier." They all looked at each other, frightened by the tale. "It seems we really shouldn't extinguish the candle," the tall gentleman said. "Have you ever encountered such a thing?" "There are extra books, blankets, and clothes in your dorm, none of which belong to you, but the administrator tells you that no one lives here." The two students turned pale. "Yes. Yeah. Why? Why?" "I heard that those who extinguish their candles here vanish, and no one ever remembers them." Hearing this, the tall student shivered, and he suddenly felt a tap on his shoulder. He turned and saw a ghastly pale skeleton. "Ah!" He jumped up. Lumen pulled back the bone he had picked up and mocked. "You're scaredy cats, eh?" No, that was just reflex." Just then, they were seriously considering whether to beat up this prankster, and someone came up to the second level. He wore a blue top and yellow pants, his face deeply wrinkled and white hair sparse and dry. The elderly catacombs administrator. Lumen frowned. He had seen this administrator before. In the tomb chamber housing the Samaritan Women's Spring, but the administrator didn't use a candle back then. 3 more chapters, eh? We're making good progress, man. We're 3/4 of the way to 1,000 chapters, and this thing is what, 1,200? I know people said I was slow at the start, and maybe I was at the start, but... What? I thought it was 1167. Don't tell me it's nearly 1300. God damn it. Moving goalposts here. Lumen had always assumed that the catacombs administrator had been assimilated by the catacombs themselves, losing all semblance to life and forever sleeping within an upright coffin. Yet here he was, able to leave the tomb chamber that housed the Women's Spring. Taking turns guarding the entrance, the longer you stay, the deeper the catacombs in erosion takes hold, until you no longer need a white candle to prevent being consumed. Can one slowly recover? Once he drew closer and the candlelight illuminated. Bro, unironically, what he just described there is what a 9 to 5 feels like. Just slowly eroding your soul until you don't feel anything at all, and you're just like, gotta go to work. Yeah, we'll be fine. It's 1180. Oh, thank you. Okay. His face, speckled with light brown age spots, and his eyes, black and icy, coupled with a faint, almost non-existent breath, instilled an involuntary fear. With each step echoing, the elderly caretaker stopped at the entrance of the ossuary. "I need to speak to you," the administrator said. "Me? We don't even know each other. I came here on a whim," Lumin thought. He hadn't expected this intriguing. Lumin was taken aback, as were the university students. They hadn't anticipated this trickster to be acquainted with with the administrator. Had he really explored the catacombs so often? Perplexed, Lumin stood up and followed the administrator to the side of the ossuary. In the dense darkness, with the stub of a white candle, the administrator said, "There has been an anomaly with a corpse on the 4th level. Handle it." "Me? Why are you asking me? Aren't there official Beyonders for such a thing?" "Correct. My body and spirit are nearing decay, and I can no longer engage in combat." "Do you know me?" Lumin asked. The deep wrinkles on the administrator's face unfolded. "You are one of our kind." Of our kind? It has something to do with the Earth Mother, or the Child of God thing, I guess? "Deal with it. The longer you wait, the more troublesome it becomes." I came to stake out Harrison from the Resurrection Island, not work for you, goddammit. During this, Lumin flashed a smile and waved at the students, frightening them into silence. Once Lumin and the administrator had disappeared deep into the stairway, the students finally relaxed. That guy really knew the administrator well. Were the rumors he shared true? Recalling this, Lumin's description of the dorm anomalies and the consequences, the students shivered in unison. Descending layer by layer past Francois' tomb in the Blood Order Hall, Lumin followed the administrator quickly, reaching the 4th level. Honestly, you know what? We all shit on like these university students saying they're so stupid and shit. But honestly, not even gonna lie to you, if I was in their place, I would do the same thing. I would just be like, oh yeah, we need a white candle. Oh my, because the darkness is so scary. Turn it off, fucking insta death. Gone. No one ever remembers me. That's honestly what would happen. Because I'm genuinely the kind, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be scared of the darkness. Okay, brother. Now I would totally go there. I'm not alone for sure, because I'm not an idiot. But I would definitely go there with some friends and trying to look hard as fuck. I'd be like, oh yeah, the candle, really needed. Okay, brother, watch this. Dead. Using the remaining third of his candle, Lumin saw a giant skeleton, 3 to 4 meters tall, composed of bones from different corpses, shaped like a human with 7 or 8 heads. With some friends? For sure, Chris. For sure. Like, I'm just being for real. Like, listen, I know logically you'd be like, why would you do? But like, if one of my friends was like, hey, like 3 or 4 of us are like going to the catacombs just to explore. You want to come? I'd be like, what am I gonna say? No, they're gonna think I'm a fucking pussy. Yeah, I gotta go, bro. Yeah, let's go, man. What? I'm supposed to be scared of dead people? Okay, bro. I would fucking die in there, bro. I'm just being straight up, okay? Listen, we can talk about like, oh well, it's my thing to do, but like, bro, you're telling me your friends say like, hey, you wanna go explore the underground catacombs? You'd be like, oh no, I'm scared. Let's stay in the school and study instead. No, you'd be like, damn, they're gonna think I'm a fucking pussy if I say no. Whatever. Jeff is going? Jeff? I saw that guy run away from a girl when we asked to talk to him. Bro, that guy's going. You know how much of a bitch I'm gonna seem like if I say no and Jeff said yes? What? You're crazy. The candlelight spread only slightly, illuminating the area minimally. Even without getting close, Lumin involuntarily felt fear and resistance, as if he were walking to death itself. Dude, Kami, I'm well aware I'm exactly the sort of person who would die. I would die second in a horror film. The first guy would get caught off guard. I would just be like, oh, listen, I'm sure Jeff is fine, guys. He's just scaring us. Oh yeah, he disappeared. Oh, there's a fucking serial killer with a giant axe hunting us in the forest. Pretty fucking cliche, don't you think? Okay. Oh, you what? You want me to walk over it? Yeah, I'll just walk over that. What do you think is gonna... And then I would die. I'm well aware, okay? Because I am totally... Because I'm... My ego would not handle me just as someone being like... Okay. Okay, maybe not something that obvious, Kami. Okay, no, honestly, I would do no, honestly. If someone said, oh, go in there, and I'd be like, no, and they'd be like, no balls, and I'd be like, watch this, and then I would die. You see this? Take care of it, the old caretaker commanded. What abilities does it have? LEMMiNO wasn't averse to lending a hand. He just couldn't rush into battle being an idiot. I don't know, but it's being suppressed by the catacombs, unable to show much of its potential. Take care of it. How often do anomalies such as this occur? It's normal, once or twice a month. Once or twice a month? As LEMMiNO was about to ask more questions, the giant seemed to notice them, suddenly turning and raising a bone sword. The surface of the sword burst into flames. The skeleton with several heads moved swiftly, but quickly charging towards LEMMiNO and the administrator. Without hesitation, LEMMiNO reached into his bag and grasped the Sword of Courage, a warmth rushing over him. What is there to fear? Fight. LEMMiNO drew the great sword and charged at the skeleton, then swung the Sword of Courage upwards. A bright white flame and a hint of blue burst forth from the blade. The iron-black greatsword collided with the bone sword, mid-air. As LEMMiNO's knees bent as his feet sank into the mud, the skeleton's force was immense, and the bright white-blue flames tangled with the pale white flames, mutually extinguishing. LEMMiNO was not afraid. His eyes excited, he tightened his thighs, straightened his knees, and advanced rather than retreating, slashing his greatsword. The bone sword responded with the force of a falling boulder. The collision triggering a violent explosion, the fierce shockwave carrying the bright white flames striking the giant skeleton's surface. LEMMiNO perused, slashing over and over, with each clash of the huge swords, and in every massive explosion, a large number of bones fell from the skeleton, charred. Finally, LEMMiNO broke through and cleaved its chest with one strike. And the bright white fireball expanded, penetrating its entire body, and the skeleton froze, collapsing. LEMMiNO withdrew the greatsword, turned his back to the administrator, and smiled. Neutralized. He then returned the sword to its bag. LEMMiNO sobered up just after. What was that? I'd planned to engage in direct combat before drawing the sword. I didn't consider just head-on attack. Hearing LEMMiNO's words, the administrator slowly approached. Has anyone visited the Samurai and Women's Springs in the last few months? LEMMiNO asked. The administrator looked at LEMMiNO and spoke. Extinguish the candle. Extinguish the candle? Do you want to kill me? At that moment, the candle in the administrator's hand burned to its end, flickered, and was extinguished. Darkness surged to the old man, but he did not disappear. LEMMiNO guessed many things, including the catacombs administrator considering him one of their own. Yeah, so the evil spirits, so the evil things down here are now gonna see him as a child of God and not attack him, basically? He hadn't made his final crazy decision when the darkness around the administrator spread, enveloping him. His candle suddenly went out. In the darkness. Yeah, I saw, Seer. Oh, sorry, I didn't see yours. I saw Kami's though. Okay, I wouldn't do that. Okay, that's really dumb. That one is different. Okay, but like, if we're in a situation that's like a horror movie, and someone asked me to do something that's logically pretty stupid because the upside is basically nothing and the dark side is, and the downside is possibly death, but they were like, hey, would you do that? I'd be like, no, that's dumb. They'd be like, no balls. I'm like, alright, fucking pussy, I'll be back. And then I never come back because I die. I would do that for sure. That I would do for sure. For sure. Listen, you guys are fucking pussies, okay? Because I'm being vulnerable with you. I am telling you Where I'm telling you my flaws, and you guys choose. Okay. Okay. Whiz 15 minutes in any life-threatening situation. Okay. Listen, that was exceptionally stupid. Because why? Okay. And then Kami said Wiz would run in here after his friends told him he got no balls. I would do that. I would for sure do that. Again, I'm just being vulnerable with you guys, okay? The fact that you guys can't be vulnerable with me is a little sad, okay? What, you're all perfect? You alone would be the one who makes it out of a horror movie? Okay, bro. Okay, bro. Though Lumin had toyed with the idea of taking risks, he hadn't truly made up his mind. The sudden extinguishing of his candle caused him to swear under his breath, preparing to activate the black mark on his shoulder and teleport out. At that moment, a bone-chilling cold tinged with slight pain surged through his body. A snap of pain brought him to his senses. Indeed, Lumin calmed down. His suspicions were confirmed. He clenched his right hand, ensuring the prominently unmarked Underworld Taoist seal was invisible to anything lurking in the darkness. First sign of skit, I would run at the light is growl, I'm not gonna lie. Wow, okay guys. Okay, you know what? Maybe you guys would make it out, okay? Maybe you would be the one. Maybe I'm wrong. Given that the Women's Spring was closely related to the Underworld Taoist, and the catacombs of Trier were likely to contain its overflowing influences, the administrator took turns guarding the massive tomb chambers. Since the catacomb administrators affected by the anomaly could navigate the catacombs without a candle and not disappear, theoretically he should be able to as well, given his Underworld Taoist seal. Of course, this was extremely risky. One wrong guess could mean dying without leaving even a trace. In the darkness, where his eyes saw nothing, Lumin felt as if he were in the Trier subterranean river. Yet he breathed easily, his body and soul strangely drawing air from the dark waters. He seemed like a fish. The darkness, like flowing water, layered and pressed down. The next moment, Lumin heard the administrator's voice. 3 people have tried to approach the springs, but I stopped them. 3 people? Who are they? One time it was a blessed of darkness and death with a hunter. A blessed of death and darkness with a hunter. Madam Hella and me? You remember us? He had thought of this elderly administrator, unlike the more active ones like Kendall, and nearing a death-like state, didn't recognize people by sight, but by presence. Lumin had encountered 2 administrators guiding visitors when he arrived at the entrance to the old ossuary. Who was the third? Lumin asked. An outsider. He felt similar to us, but different, so I stopped him. Similar, but different. What did he look like? He couldn't see in the darkness. Not even the outlines of the old administrator. I've been an administrator for too long. I've forgotten many things. Even death itself vanishes here, let alone memories. I know not what he looked like, only that he wasn't Intesian, Luanese, or physician. After a brief pause, the administrator said I should go back to rest now. Lumin didn't try to stop him. He didn't look like an Intesian, Luanese, or physician, an outsider. Suddenly he remembered something. Franca had mentioned that she encountered a man in the catacombs, suspected that he came from the world of the Celestial Master, the world they transmigrated from. Her judgment was based on the man's appearance, which closely resembled the people from that world and different from this world. So the person Franca met was likely the administrator. Could that person be Harrison? Bro, the Resurrection Island is just Taiwan? Hold on. Hold on. Oh my god, I'm seeing it. Because Franca said they're Chinese people. Oh my god, could it be Japan? But oh, that'd be really big. It'd be difficult to miss. It could just be like Taiwan. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing the line. I see the future, boys. The reason the nautical chart leading to Resurrection Island is incorrect is because it lacks mystical details. Even if one reaches the designated sea area, they will encounter only danger. This would explain with Franca's divination results that the chart is genuine and why adventurers have failed to locate the island. If that is the case, there should be explanation as to why Franca and the others were transmigrated. As for the purpose of the island, as for the purpose of the islanders appearing here, who knows? Imagine Taiwanese people use their advanced AI technology to not get eroded away by time and kept their. Imagine they just are on iPhone 47,000. Imagine though, they're just like, what? We're gonna go help these peasants with their steam trains? I think not. The good thing now is Franca had seen someone who might be Harrison and drawn a corresponding portrait, which may help us. Franca and Jenna's exploration yielded quite a lot of crucial information in many important matters. I think you can guess the location with the information you have. In the real world, or are you talking like LOTM world? Because I don't know, bro. Because the reason I said Taiwan is because I believe Franca said that the person would be, and that the person was Asian, right? The iPhone would be sold in Lego pieces. You'd have to build it yourself at the cheap price of $500. Bro, they're immortal. They are immortal over there. Who gives a shit? This might not have been that entity's doing, but highly related to Monet. Lumin was particularly puzzled about why the true creator Ramon valued this place so. Their previous help was mainly about combating evil gods. Would the Celestial Worthy be counted as one of the evil gods? Did he come from the Celestial Worthy's world? Lumin speculated briefly before pondering whether it informed 007, Franca, Madame Hella, and the others. Lumin could already picture what would happen. Everyone would desperately set out to sea, searching for Resurrection Island, marked on the sea chart, failing to find the island. But Lumin preferred to see Franca remain as she was, conflicted about her gender, but pretty happy. Kinda needs some GeoGuessr thing, but yes. After a moment of silence, Lumin laughed a bit out of character, whispering self-mockingly in the environment. Would you avoid seeking a way to resurrect or roar because of the dangers? Would you give up resisting because of dangers and others' expectations? Would you refuse to merge with the bloodline of Amibella because of the dangers? No. Lumin made up his mind. He couldn't see anything but faintly sensed figures wandering in the darkness, felt hands reaching out to him, grabbing him, yet having no effects. No, there was only one thing. Lumin felt distinctly colder to the point where the physical traits of a reaper. He couldn't help but constrict his pores and shiver. He could also hear faint, painful cries. Suddenly he shivered. The cold and dead silence seeped into his mind. His thoughts became sluggish, and the memories of certain things grew fuzzy. The underworld Taoist seal prevents me from disappearing, from even dying without a trace, but it can't stop me from being slowly eroded by the abnormalities like the administrators. Yet my erosion is clearly faster than theirs. Lumin snapped a flame into existence, lighting the candle in his hand. Lumin glanced at the candle, nodding. I just interpreted the underworld Taoist seal as a kind of alternative white candlelight, but now it seems they're not exactly the same. One stems from the anomaly being sealed, and the other leverages the power of this place. As thoughts swirled, Lumin, holding the candle, made his way back, seeing the few university students. Scared off, just like that? Lumin scoffed as he returned. Dude, what a piece of shit. He's like, oh, you're not gonna walk to your deaths? Fucking pussies. Yeah, I would. See, someone did that shit to me? I'm walking down. I mean, like, oh, what? Oh, you think this is scary? Oh, you want to see real scary? Blows out the candle. Dies immediately. In the Quartier de la Cathédrale Commémorative, Franca, who was about to go out, saw Lumin again. You're here again? It's the third time today. Last chapter for the day, boys. Let's call it. Let's go. One more chapter. Let's do this. Dude, I appreciate Kami so much, because he has to deal with my dumb fuck ass, who just skips lines. And it's not even like I have any kind of rationale for how I skip them. If I'm in the mood for reading, I will read completely useless shit. And if I'm not in the mood to read, I will just skip relatively important exposition and just be like, I read it in my mind, it's fine. And it's not even like, oh, well, it's a random stream or whatever. It's just literally like, or like per stream or whatever. Like, I will be reading one chapter, and midway through I'll be like, I don't want to read too much anymore, and just start skipping lines, and Kami just has to fucking adjust on the fly. If you randomly stop streaming, I guess we'll know what happened. True. Listen, if you want to know, I was exploring the forest with some friends. There was a fucking dungeon that said there was a dungeon that said goth girls found here. I entered and never came out. Okay, but for a moment I witnessed true happiness. Okay, it's fine. Facing Franca's probing, Lumin raised an eyebrow and said, I've again come across something important that I need to tell you. Just this morning, Lumin had returned from the Blue Avenger, having completed an initial exploration that yielded the formula for Demoness of Despair and a Sword of Courage, and a specifically significant wax candle, and now he found something more? What now? Do you remember Mr. Hangman's description of Harrison? I'm not gonna have it off that, so... I remember he might appear in places closely linked to darkness, death, dusk, and decay, Franca replied. I had some free time, so I went to the catacombs. I met with the administrator guarding the Samurai and Women's Spring. He told me that recently an outsider tried to approach the spring but was stopped. The outsider had features different from anyone from the northern continent. Harrison? You think Jenna and I met Harrison? Franca's from China. What are you talking about, Sierra? She immediately recalled her and Jenna's adventure at the Crismona Night Pillar. It's very likely, Lumin nodded. Resurrection Island? Could the Resurrection Island be the node where the two worlds converge, she asked. Even if it's not, I mean, where in China, bro? China's pretty small. It's like 1 or 2 cities, right? That's a fucking joke. Before I fuck off. Okay, yes, I'm aware. No, I don't know, sir. Even if it's not, it's probably closely related to your world, Lumin said. Why didn't I recognize him then? Why didn't I capture him? Now he's gone and we don't even have a starting point. The EBS church is too slow. They haven't given me anything. You can't blame them for that. Harrison might not even be here, Lumin said. I'll announce this at the Research Society meeting so other members can watch out too. I'll tell them not to seek out the island until we find Harrison and the others. It's too dangerous. If they spot Harrison, they shouldn't rush to recognize him or approach him. They should notify President Gandalf, the chairman, Madame Hela, and us. I thought you'd be too excited to think straight, but surprisingly, you have considered everything quite thoroughly, Lumin said. Why do you say that? If I have to think hard all the time, would that negate the point of relaxing? We'll share this at the gathering in 2 days, Lumin said. Franca hummed in agreement, and her excitement vanished as her body trembled. What's wrong? Lumin asked. I'm excited about the truth and what the future holds, but I'm also afraid it won't meet our expectations. I'm afraid of facing an answer I can't handle. After speaking, Franca leaned on the windowsill as if drained of all strength. Lumin offered no comfort, his look having the same as the one Madame Magician had when she looked at him. Pity. Want to have a drink? Lumin said after a moment. Sure. Getting drunk might actually help. Typical brotherly comfort. 2 days later, Franca met with the Demoness of Black, Clarice. The demigod-level Demoness had swapped her usual black court gown for dark hunting attire and a dark hat. Compared to her previously melancholic beauty, Clarice now radiated a different kind of allure. Franca eyed the Demoness with appreciation, suppressing her desires, and relayed the intelligence of the mirror people. Clarice nodded. Her smile brightened as she took out a box. Or a briefcase, rather. This is your reward, she said, handing the case to Franca. Franca did not hesitate as she unlatched the metal fasteners and opened the briefcase. Inside, the case was divided by pristine ice blocks showing no signs of melting, each compartment containing a bat's head, colorful markings, a gallbladder oozing of blood, and green bile. Affliction's main ingredients and most of the supplementary ingredients are here. If you're not ready to advance, do not try to break the ice I've crafted. That would only infect the bearer with various diseases and lead to a slow death. Thank you, Madame, Franca said. You were quite efficient and effective in your tasks, Clarice commented. I need to pee, can you pause? Bro, we're like 5 lines away from finishing, just wait. They're searching for... Okay, hey there, whoa. Perhaps in a year or two you'll be ready to attempt opening the gate to godhood, but then we won't reward you with the formula and ingredients for despair. Instead, we'll inform you of the advancement ritual in advance. Once you're ready, we'll simply give you the despair potion. To prevent high sequence potion formulas from being leaked, Franca said? Yes. Once you earn the right to have a color precede your title, you will have access to those formulas. I also want to obtain the Demoness of Unaging's formula from you guys, but without a Demoness of Unaging, I probably can't have a color precede my name, eh? She then steered the conversation back. Madame, to what extent should we pursue the Mirror People? Is it enough to thwart their plans and eliminate those who escape from the Mirror World? Where you are, pants? What? Let us do what we can for now. Once you have advanced to affliction, we'll tell you more. Becoming a demoness of... Why is pants flagged? What? Becoming a demoness of affliction means entering the core circle of the demoness sect, eligible to learn some secrets, eh? Late at night in a quarry cave, Ongome de Francois, dressed in a brown woolen coat, entered the dormant area carrying a carbide lamp. His right sleeve rolled up, revealing a glass syringe tied to his elbow. Following him were 4 or 5 purifiers, with the same syringe. Surrounded by the purifiers were 4 tall iron-gray steam robots responsible for carrying an item over 2 meters long and 6 feet wide. The item was covered with a red flannel cloth covering any details. Ongome stopped in the middle of the quarry, gesturing for his teammates to stop as well. The robots then put the item down. As the cover was lifted, a beautifully crafted-looking bed was revealed, making Ongome and his team feel tired and drawn to its comfort. Ongome looked away and used his hand, holding the carbide lamp, pushed the plunger off the syringe, injecting some of the liquid in his body. The purifiers all did the same, and a figure in a black nun's outfit suddenly emerged from the other side of the cave. Whoa, alright. Alright, boys, I think that's it for the day. We're making good progress, guys. We are making really good progress on the book. 450 chapters left. We'll keep going, and plus in like 2 weeks I got a week off, so we're gonna fucking hammer the shit out of it. Bang. 1 week off, if I can do like 15 chapters a day, I'd get through like nearly 100 chapters then. Get through like another chapter, so get to like maybe 900 chapters by the end of... Basically what we want to try for, what I'm trying to say, poorly mind you, is that if we can, by the end of June, if we want to be we want to be at chapter 1000. We're going to be quadruple digit chapters, and we'll be done pretty fucking soon after. Alright, that's it, boys. I'll catch y'all later.